Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. I am Don Snyder from Priority Home Lending. This is my friend Kari Wheatley with John L. Scott, and today we're going to talk about the 10 things that we individually love the most about owning homes.
Yes.
It was 2 years ago when I bought my first home. How about you?
4 years ago on the 27th, and definitely not looking back. It's been one of the best things I've done.
But it hasn't been that long, so we remember what it's like to live in an apartment.
Oh yeah, definitely. We had a lot of fun compiling this list, and it brought back a lot of funny memories for me. And so,
what's the first of those memories? Number 10 on our list here.
So, number 10 reason to have your own house, especially when thinking about apartment lifestyle, no above neighbor water disasters.
What?
Yeah, I will never forget living in a bottom apartment, and my husband and I wondered, why the heck is the middle of our living room floor soaking wet and we can't seem to make it stop? So the above neighbor went ahead and left their bathtub running, went through the walls and then down to our living room carpet. And so their mistake led to something that we had to deal with. And so that's one of the reasons, no above water neighbor disasters. Don,
wow.
Number 9?
Number 9. For me, really big deal. I loved the very moment I bought my house is I got to park in a garage, right? No parking canopies, right? Definitely no parking way out in the lot.
Or even the garages they give you are like way the heck away from your apartment, and when you
Exactly.
get out of them, it's like, unless you're the size of a rail, you can't fit through.
Right. No, I had my own completely spacious garage that I could pull into, get my groceries out, and take them through one door into the kitchen. I felt like I had made it having my own garage. It's like a little house just for your car.
Right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it makes your car last longer.
That's right. Yeah, I went
true.
from washing my car every other day to like once a week. It was great. What's next for you?
So, number 8. No, as I like to call it, Russian roulette neighbors.
Oh,
Are you
that's a
just
good
sick and
one.
tired of never knowing if that neighbor that you love that you can borrow that toilet paper or hand sanitizer from is going to go away, getting replaced with the guy that, loves to do God knows what?
And you get to hear all of it.
Yeah, I have had some very, very interesting neighbors. In fact, one of the inspirations for me purchasing a home was to get rid of having that issue. And so you just never know. Every 6 months, they could be a different person depending on their lease status. So Russian roulette neighbors is definitely not fun. And that's why it made the list at number 8.
Which brings me to a very great segue for number 7, which is you don't have to know the salacious details of your neighbors' lives, their toilet habits, their other habits, things that we just don't need to hear day in and day out.
You should need to know that right now your neighbor is currently doing the 2 a.m. shift at work.
Right. It's
Should
annoying.
need to know
ruins
that.
your sleep. So when we have separate housing, it's not an issue.
Exactly.
What's next for you?
So the next one is with hosting family and friends. So I'm sure a lot of you that live in apartments or did live in apartments remember, whenever you think about who are we going to have Easter celebration with or a birthday party or whatever, you're usually not that person on that list because you can't have all those people, not to mention your downstairs neighbors are not going to be totally thrilled with you. So you can be one of those people that hosts the events, and there's a lot of pride in that. And not to mention, if you keep it inside, there's no sort of time limit. You can host your family or friend game nights until however long you want, and you're not going to have someone upset about you or ask your friends or family to keep it down and, walk on tiptoes.
Right. As long as you're being a good neighbor, right? Obviously, that's our caveat.
That's one of my favorite things, personally.
I love that. Number 5, more room for activities.
More room for activities?
Do you want to do karate in the garage?
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Ah.
Awesome.
You can build bunk beds. You can do whatever you want because it's your house. You can clean up after yourself. You can leave it a mess. You can have tools in the garage. It doesn't matter. It's yours.
Chop watermelons with ninja swords.
I'm all about it.
Opportunities are endless.
Okay, what's next for you? I think we're on to number 4.
Yes, that's right. No increase in prices. So unless you're going to go ahead and do a refinance where you go ahead and take money out in your equity, there's no price increase except for your taxes, of course. That's something that's normal and natural and something that we can't control. But as far as your mortgage payment with that cost, that's not going to change if you're at a fixed rate.
Once you're locked in, you're locked in.
Exactly. And that's something to count on, especially with the ever-increasing rental prices. You are at the mercy of your landlords.
That's a serious issue.
It is a
really
very
is.
serious issue.
Speaking of being at the mercy of your landlords, number 3 is creative liberty. When you wake up in a rental and say, I want that wall to be orange, you just have to swallow that idea and let it die. But when it's your house, it doesn't matter. Go to the hardware store and buy some paint, whatever color you want, and say it turns out terrible, who cares? Paint it again the next day. It doesn't matter.
When we bought our house, we let the kids pick their colors, and youngest pick bubblegum pink. It was horrible, but she loved it. It's recently been painted gray now that she's older. But you know what? It felt like her space in her room, and she was able to have that creative decision.
That's awesome.
And that's fun.
I love knocking out walls. It's one of my favorite things to do. And you can't do that in a rental. Turns out they get pretty mad.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So, yeah.
Number 2.
Oh gosh, number 2, pride of ownership. I know it's a little cheesy, but I truly do feel that pride when I know that I own my home. It's something that I've invested in, and when the market changes, and when I check out, what's the value of my home, I can see what the equity is, and I know that my dollar is working harder for me than it would in a traditional savings account. And so it's something that I am proud of me and my husband for accomplishing. We worked really hard to get our house, and it's a goal that we continuously live in and are reminded of every single day as we pull into the garage that we enjoy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It just feels good. I
really
underestimated how good it would feel to be able to say, this house is mine. All of the rules in this house are here because those are my rules.
And as long as you continue to make your mortgage payments, no one can ask you to leave.
Exactly.
So,
last but not least,
our
number one, it's pets. I have 2 dogs. What do you have?
I have a dog and a cat, and no one can tell me that they can't come into my house. You don't like my dog, you're not welcome in my house. Am I right?
You are right. And the only poop on the lawn is your dog's poop. Pick it up.
Exactly.
Come on. But you're not wandering around other people's poop who are too lazy to deal with it.
Exactly. I think that in this world of divided ideas, that for the most part, everybody loves a fur baby.
Right? I mean, you better love fur babies. You have to.
Exactly. So with that, Dawn and I have decided, since we're both passionate about animals and about rescuing animals, that we are going to partner up with some sort of humane society, and that we are going to feature a pet of the month that for whatever reason has been passed up and has been sitting in the shelter for longer than they should be. And this, of course, is only for people that are serious, that have been thinking about getting a pet. We don't want any impulse buyers. We want these pets to go into a house that's going to be a forever home. And I think that sometimes some of these pets just need to be, have their time in the spotlight for a little bit. And I've seen it happen on Facebook where it's shared. And then I'm the person, I don't share a ton of stuff on Facebook, but when it comes to a pet, little cute little Rosie the pit bull that's been in the shelter for 6 months and is starting to get depression, and and I share it, and I see so many people have shared it, and then there's about 50 comments, and I look through the end, which I never do, and I see that little Rosie's been adopted. Man, that feels good.
So we want to be a part of that.
Exactly.
Once a month, we will bring you a pet of the month, and we promise that for the most part, they'll be adorable, I think.
Yeah, or at least charming.
Charming, that's the right word.
Hey, charming. And if it's not quite the cutest pet, you might be able to win some ugly pet contests.
Right, and you can love it anyways, because beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly. All pets need a home, and let's go do some good out there, and it doesn't take much to share, just a nice little click. I couldn't adopt Rosie, but I like to feel like that I helped get her adopted, so.
For sure.
All right, everybody, thanks again. We really enjoy shooting this video.
Have a good week. We'll see you again next time.
Bye, everyone.